All right, all my FL Studio users, the new FLKey 49 and 61 is now available. And yeah, this is actually a very dope MIDI controller for FL Studio. So let's look at some of the features.
Bolo!
All right, before we get started, if you guys need some new equipment just like this FLKey 49, go ahead and click my link in the description and head over to Zounds.com. They have a whole bunch of stuff on the site that requires no credit or background check, meaning you can go ahead and order it, they'll ship it to you, and you can just pay it off. All you need is a credit or debit card for them to pull the payments, and they'll take them out monthly. Now, it's not everything on the site, but it is a good quantity of stuff on the site that you can get with no credit or background check. So if you guys need some equipment, go ahead and click that link in the description right now. Go ahead and click that thing. Okay, so I got my hands on the FLKey 49. I could have got the 61, but I wanted to get the one that fits best on my desk. I have an Argosy Halo desk, and this thing fits perfectly. Another thing I like about this keyboard is, as soon as I took it out the box, I plugged this bad boy in and it works. The transport controls, everything works. Now, we all know that most of these MIDI keyboards, when you're using it with FL Studio, when you plug it in, the transport controls don't work. This thing works. Now, with the transport controls, you have all of the basic transport controls. You have your play, your stop, record. You got quantize, metronome, undo, and redo. And they added in the score log in there, which some of you guys were like wondering, what is the score log? It's basically like a recall like function. So basically, if you're playing some stuff and you're just trying to, demo some stuff out, you didn't hit record, automatically FL Studio is recording 5 minutes of what you're doing. You can go ahead and hit that score log and you can pull up some of the ideas that you had just in case you lost that idea, and you can go ahead and sign it to whatever tracks and use it in your tracks if needed. So that's the power of the score log. Now, of course, they have everything else that all of the other major MIDI controllers have. They have your pitch, they have your modulation, they have your octave controls, they have scales, they have chord modes and stuff like that in there. They have a user chord mode in here as well. That way you can make your own chords and assign them to a pad and just play your chords accordingly to the pads, which is pretty cool. But they had that on the previous versions as well. And of course, another thing that I did like about this is actually the keys. They have like a little bit of weighted keys on here. So for you guys who like to play, they do have some like semi-weighted keys on here for you people who are into that weighted key thing. Today, we're going to talk about some of the new things that they have on here that makes this a little bit better. Now, one of the major upgrades that they add to these keyboards is the faders. Okay, with these faders, they directly correlate with your mixer. So if you press these faders up and down, your mixer faders are going to go up and down. They have 8 faders and they have a master fader. But if you just hit that mixer little button right here at the top, you can go ahead and scroll through extra faders if need be, depending on how many tracks you have in your song. So this way you'll have full and complete control over all of your mixer faders inside of your track. Now, another thing with these faders, they're not only just for the mixer, you can assign these over to your channel rack as well. All you have to do is hit the almighty button on this controller, which is the shift button. We all know if you have these controllers, the shift button directs you to everything. All you have to do is hit that little shift button and then just go right there underneath the faders where it says channel volume, and then that way you can control your channel rack volume with the faders. Very easy. Now, another thing with these faders, if you are using certain instruments, which, they have to be FL Studio instruments, you can use the faders to control certain values inside of these instruments, okay? So all you have to do is hit the shift button again, and then hit the plug-in button underneath the faders, and then that way you'll be able to control certain things inside of FL Studio plugins. I don't know about no other plugins, but the FL Studio plugins work. I guess that's pretty cool. Also, another cool feature that they added in here is making new patterns and cloning patterns. All you have to do is hold shift and then just hit the button that correlates to a new pattern, or hit the button that correlates to clone a pattern, and you can just clone patterns very easily. It's just one click, that's it, you're done. They're basically trying to make it to where you don't use, this too much, even though you guys are scared to use a mouse like this. Y'all don't like using this type of mouse anyway, so really doesn't matter. But it is for you guys to, not try to be clicking so much, but, this is FL Studio. You guys are gonna click anyway. So, but if you guys are trying to clone your patterns or make new patterns, it's a very dope feature and it makes the workflow a lot better. Other than that, you have your pots mode in here where you can assign your channel rack volumes and your pans, and you can assign that over to your mixer as well. So having the pots mode is actually very cool. So this keyboard is pretty much ready to go with FL Studio. Now they do have a downside that I do not like about this keyboard, and that is the screen. Okay, the screen size is very small. Don't know why they had that small screen on there, but basically when you press certain functions, whatever, the functions pull up on it and you can use it. Everybody's coming with these small screens. I don't understand it, but hey, that's what they made. So other than that, the keyboard is actually very dope. I recommend it to anybody who is using FL Studio. I would most likely use this in a home setup and then maybe getting like the 25 or the 37 to travel with. But if you're at home or if you want to travel with this as well, now one thing that I can say is I will take this on the road if need be. The build quality on this thing is great. All in all, this is a very good keyboard. They definitely did their thing by making this, and I do recommend this to all of you FL Studio users. Now, you can use this keyboard with other programs. I have used it with other programs, but this thing is made for FL Studio. So if you guys want to get this keyboard, go ahead and click that link to Zounds.com and go ahead and get it right now. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys learned something from it. And like I always say, peace out.